Hello everybody, it's Calxiyn here. So we are doing a Dream Mommy?
M-O-M-I.
Question mark? Okay. We want to... Best LGBT moments in kids' cartoon history, Hunter? Do you want to tell me something? What are you looking at?
No, because there was an episode of 16, which is the greatest show that ever lived, and it was like, there was a gay girl on it. And I'm like, as a kid, I watched every episode of 16. How did I miss the gay kid? The gay girl. Because I remember there was a gay cowboy that was going to have sex with Jonesy, the main protagonist, at a kissing booth or something.
This video was long enough last time, okay? This is the female version of Dream Daddy that we're making. By the way, my Patreon goal for $3,000 is to actually make this. I didn't say that at the beginning of the last video, so if that video gets all the attention and nobody pledges and this one doesn't, I'll be sad.
I'm still not over the 16 thing. That came out in like 2010 and I missed it, man.
Let's go in alphabetical order for our Dream Mamas. Amber. I feel like Amber would be an interesting category because we know nothing about her.
She's kind of, you know, I feel like she's young, or is that just
No, she seems pretty old to me.
Alright, well, she's definitely nurturing.
She seems like she could have kids, but, like, she hasn't yet. That is her
I feel like she would be, like, the really nurturing one, because she, like, stops in that ambush scene to give an apple to that little girl.
Exactly, and that's what I was thinking about, in that... I don't know exactly, because we talked about... Okay, so if you didn't watch the last video, we talked about Seduce Me, and just to give you a rundown... Seduce Me basically works like this. There is a plot where there are people trying to kill these 5 boys, and so they break into your house, and then they stay in your house because you don't want to throw them back outside with people killing people. That's it. And so you choose certain dialogue options to make certain boys like you, unintentionally or intentionally if you're using a guide. Then you get with one of the boys, they reveal some dark secret to you. You have to give the right dialogue option so they know that, like, you're true to them and that you actually love them, and then after that, they will fuck you. So, Amber Dark Secret-wise, I don't have a clue. Maybe it has to do with her maiden power, like, that she didn't really ask for this power and she got thrown into it and that really stresses her out. You know what I mean? Like, that really freaks her out sometimes, that she kind of has the power to, like, change the world, sort of, and she is bad at it and stuff. Like, she has really low self-confidence about the maiden power, and her revealing the maiden power in general would be a secret, and so I
feel like that's a lot to put on someone. Like, you have a power that could save the world, and is necessary.
I know, and so that's what I'm saying. I feel like that would be her secret.
Have fun!
For you to have to fall in love with her, you would have to give her right dialogue options to love her and stuff. To make her feel like she isn't screwing up and that she's doing the best she can in her circumstance. You know? Yeah?
Yes.
So, Glinda! Hunter has exclusively decided if this got picked up like Rooster Teeth, like Ruby Grimm Eclipse, I would die pissing myself. But Hunter has decided that, okay, imagine that though. What if Ruby used the actual, what if the Ruby team used the real Ruby models for the visual novel or something like that, and then they mouthed your words to Glinda?
Oh, that would be...
That would be my only condition. If Rooster Teeth was like, we want $1 million from you so we can buy... It's not worth $1 million, but we want $1 million from you so we can make this game. I would be like, no, you can't have it. Unless you have Hunter voice Glinda. Can you do your raspy Glinda voice?
Oh, crap. Wizkowski! Wizkowski! I have to do, like, the Monsters, Inc. thing a little later.
Yeah, okay.
But I just want, like, Smoker's Cough. How long ago was that joke that, like, she got,
like... It's just an on... Oh, it was during when Glinda got fired, right?
Yes, and then she would get... Yeah, because she
would get a new voice actor. I was saying that you were the contender.
But she would get the
That video has 20,000 views. By the way, your smoky Glinda voice has 20,000 views.
Oh my god. Because she would be, like, working with dirt and, like, you know, dust and all that, and so she would get, like, smoke.
Veil collapsing, that's... Oh, that's what you were saying! That was your explanation for why her voice actors would be different, because she would inhale all the smoke from, like, the fallen building. That's awful. So, for Glinda's secret, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I feel like it should have something to do with Salem, though, because Salem is obviously going to be in this game.
My ex-boyfriend punched me in the throat, and now I talk like this.
No. I feel like her thing should be to do with Salem, because Salem is obviously alluding to the Wicked Witch, which is alluding to Glinda, and in the Wicked books they kiss that one time. So, I feel like, we talked about this with Oobleck and Port, that if you like Oobleck's dialogue options enough, Port will no longer talk to you.
I literally kissed Satan. It was crazy.
I know. that Port will no longer talk to you because they had a past history. I feel like this should be the same with Galinda and Salem, is that if you pick Galinda-like options, Salem will no longer be an option for you to date anymore, and she will kind of shun you because that was her past lover, and Elphaba was way more invested in Galinda than Galinda was ever in Elphaba, just saying. So that may cause some issues. Let's talk about Callie Belladonna.
Callie Belladonna. Oh!
Okay, people draw her with sun a lot! Like, all the time!
Crazy amount. There's a lot of smut of Callie Belladonna out there. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, with sun, though. That's the important part.
With sun, or just, like, in general. But with sun, definitely.
I know, people just think that.
God,
okay.
like, man, like, a fandom will go crazy with one line of dialogue.
She's
a married woman.
I don't know how her secret would be, because we keep talking about this. Yeah, maybe it's just that, like, she's
slobbing on that monkey dick.
Maybe it's that, like, because these games are kind of connected to each other in a way, so maybe it would be like that, like, secretly, like, she's, like, in love with women and that she's not happy in her relationship with Gira or something, and she just kind of wants to sleep around,
marriage,
you know, like, she just
kind of almost 20 years,
I mean,
presumably.
Blake's almost 20, so... Question mark. But yeah, so, that would kind of be her secret, if you want to call it that she's not happy with Gira and that she wishes she were free to kind of fuck around with people, and then she does. She fucks around with you, exactly. It's all good. Neo. So, I debated about actually putting Neo in here or not, because I do not think that she is mommy age at all.
God, we are just straight up using that word quite a bit, aren't we?
So, I'm not gonna include Neo, but if Neo was old enough to be in here, I would basically make her not talk at all and have you have to support the dialogue and basically guess what she's trying to say.
That would be hilarious, just to have, like, a
dialogueless character, and then you need to basically base your replies off her facial expressions.
That would be pretty great. Yeah. That would be unique.
Rooster your teeth, hire me. I'm just saying, like, I'm ready, okay? I'm 17. I'm ready to make a visual novel.
How many times have that sentence has been said in human history? I'm 17 and I'm ready to make a visual novel.
Raven.
This is the most, yes.
So we talked about Raven in the last, because we talked about how,
moving forward.
Hunter's having issues with the game today. We talked about how Raven is connected to Ty, because that is Ty's kind of, I love how the vacuum cleaner is just going, and it's gonna be going in the video, but that's okay, it's okay. So the point I was trying to make in the last video with Ty is that Ty is scarred by Raven leaving him and everything, but I feel like for Raven's dialogue options and stuff, we could have it so she has a rivalry with Summer, because now Summer is technically with Ty, and like how we talked about this in the Summer shipping video, or the Raven shipping video, is that how she loved Summer in the past or something, and so now, like, there's some tension between them, and that's kind of her, like, secret, is that she's very angry and upset about that, but then she finds new love in you and everything's okay.
I feel like you've thought about this before.
I know! Seriously, I just woke up before you came, I was like, we should do that Dream Daddy stuff we talked about in the RWBY Chibi episode. Also, I guess we have to talk about that again because our RWBY Chibi episode got screwed over, remember?
Yep.
So I keep referencing that. We gotta make sure that we mention that a couple times. So anyway, yeah, I just kind of woke up and I was like, we should do that. Woke up before you came here, I mean. I haven't thought about this at all, honestly. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. For Salem, we kind of already talked about that. She's gonna have beef with Galinda. And again, if you pick certain dialogue options that conflict with, I guess, Galinda's, or they're basically conflict with each other, there will be probably opposites, because I talked about this in Seduce Me. Certain dialogue options connect to certain characters. If you say something that is flirty, the flirty character will like you more, surprisingly. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of how it works. And so I feel like if you're on the more rebellion side of things, Salem will like you and stuff.
Also, Salem is like the most like momish of the bunch.
Exactly.
Then
you got Summer, right?
Yes.
Who's dead, but she'll be alive in here. It's okay. And I don't know what Summer's thing will be.
I feel like she would kind of be wise, because we talked about.
I feel like she has this weird wisdom to her, and then kind of like with what we were talking about with Amber, is that she feels like this burden has been placed on her, and instead of being chosen, she was born with it, and so it's a different sort of situation, because Amber, you could say it was part of her choice because she chose to do it, but Summer has no escape from it because it's in her DNA, it's her silver eyes, and so I feel like that we could talk about that, and that could be her thing, is that she's thinks that her abilities may also get her children killed, and then it does, right?
And then it does.
Winter Schnee. So, we haven't seen Willow yet. I would like to have Willow in there.
And is her name actually Willow,
yes,
or is that just
Willow.
what people like to call her?
It's in Monty's files. There is a file called Willow Schnee or something. Okay. And so, yeah.
That makes me excited for more of her character.
So, okay. I want to add Winter if we never ever see Willow, but in my mind, Willow would have kind of the similar situation, like, we talked about in Jacques last episode, that with Jacques, he, like, is an abuser and everything, and so he's really, like, shitty to you at first, but then you understand that something happened in his past life, but with Willow, it would be that her husband was abusive and now she's left him, right? That's why she is coming for you, and so you need to prove to her that you will not let her be hurt ever again. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say.
I feel like I'm getting worse at this. Which game would you rather see come to light?
The Dream Daddy or the Dream Mommy?
Yes.
I would like both of them. But if I had to choose, I think there are more variety in the daddies. Because we only have so many female characters, right?
So older female characters. Yeah. A lot of young. As we said, I think in the previous video, when we looked up male RWBY characters, we got a list.
And
comprised
it still
of
had
female
girls.
characters.
Still had girls in it. Yeah, that's all I kind of have to say about the mom one. Other than that, yeah, okay, so here's something I want to talk about kind of just to fill time. In Seduce Me, there are also alternative options. So you have the 5 boys to pick from, but then you can also fall in love with the villain. And so I feel like these 2 games would need a unique villain, because the villain is called Diana. She's very, like, cindery, and she's flirts with you. She's a succubus, right? Because this is talking about demons. Incubi and succubus. So in Seduce Me, you can actually get a Diana option, and you don't get to sleep with her, unfortunately, but she basically gives you unlimited power, and you become a demon person. So I feel like in the that there has to be 2 female characters that, no. Hold on. So I feel like that for the male game, that can be Salem that comes in and gives you that alternative option choice, right? Because that's kind of what Diana is. She's the protagonist that gives alternative options. You can also choose not to be with any of the boys. You can choose a couple different things. You can choose to have unlimited power. You can choose to have or you can choose to have your memory erased and not remember them anymore. Like, there's a lot of non-romantic routes, which I love about Seduce Me, because it gives you options if you're not romantically inclined, and you also don't have to fuck them, which is good for people that are, like, aromantic and stuff like that. So I feel like for the male story, it could be Salem, right? That is seducing you into picking power. For the male story, though, I don't know who would be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, if we had to have a male character do it for the Dream Mommy story, I don't know who would do that. Like, I can't think of a character that would do that unless we have Ozpin do it. But Ozpin has a unlimited power in a different sort of way. Right, that Ozpin's not evil, because Diane is evil. Like, she technically gives you more of an evil brand of power, if you want to call it that. But you could have Ozpin, and then Ozpin kind of gives you that choice, that you abandon the person that you've fallen in love with for power, or you don't. And then Ozpin also, or Diana also gives you the ability to erase your memories instead of getting the unlimited power stuff. I think, or those may be tied. No, I think they're different, because you either become a demon or you just forget everything, but you get stuff that you wanted in life. It's confusing. I don't really remember. I think the memory erase comes first, and then the demon power gives you power and stuff. Like, you basically you can get everything you want, or you can forget about them entirely, and I feel like Ozpin could be the Dream Mommy version of that, because you could still make him flirty, kind of like Diana. He doesn't need to be evil, because Diana wasn't necessarily evil, she was just the antagonist. Because that's deep. So I'm losing my voice, surprisingly. I recorded a song cover today. Today's Monday.
Gold, right?
Yeah, I did gold.
Let's date the video.
So yeah, Hunter, do you want to do the outro?
Oh, as for something that I've heard like 1,000 times, you think I'd be better at, you know, like, doing it. But, like, hey, we have a Patreon, you can do that.
Please Patreon us if you would like to see this game come true.
You like to treat the... I really don't want it to happen, because it's really, if someone else did it, and then we were, like, producing it, sure. And, like, I always, like, in my perfect world, like, I would just come up, do
Hunter,
Glinda's
if we
voice.
had $3,000 a month, we could both stay home and build this game. You know that, right? Well, like, you know what I mean? Like, we would have a sustainable enough salary that we could work from home, but then we could also hire people. Maybe not you, maybe just me. It's okay.
No,
forget about you. It's okay.
Money doesn't work the way you think it works, Cal. You have a very skewed vision of it. But
I could make the code for the game and write for the game, and then somebody else would have to make the art. That is literally it. It's not like Yandere Simulator, where you have a lot of code. I've made a visual novel before using this, using RWBY, which is very basic, and a lot of people use it because it's okay. Like, it gets the job done. So, like, it doesn't need to be that complicated, you know what I'm saying? Like, just calm down. Just relax.
I love how at the end of this video, after staying in this fucking horrific court for how many videos,
I know.
I finally make it into a new horrific court.
Anyway, so I hope that you guys enjoyed. Yeah, if you want to see this become a reality, that's what you can do, because my $3,000 goal is to make a visual novel. If it's not a RWBY visual novel, it will be a visual novel if we ever get there. Ever. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Bye, guys!